Alright guys, went back today with one of my favorite AKs I've ever fired. This is an AK-101 from Palmetto State Armory and it's chambered in 5.56. You heard me correctly. It does take the AK-556 magazines and it is one of the smoothest and lightest recoiling AKs I've ever fired. I think every collection needs one and you'll see why as I go through this video. Before we get too far into the overview of this firearm and ways to save money, I want to give a huge shout out to Callaway Ballistics for sponsoring the ammo to help make this video. These guys just updated the code, so now the code 704 Tactical is good for 5% off and free shipping on orders over $200. And they just did massive price drops for some of the cheapest 9mm I've seen in a very long time. Definitely check them out. If you're looking for ways to save and find a lot of these options, head over to my campsite page. My campsite page is an aggregate site of all the best deals I find on the internet, and that'll be linked in the description below. I also have a Twitter page, a Patreon page, and an Instagram page where you can find daily deals and updates. And I've seen some of these AK-101s as low as $5.99, and I've posted over there. So subscribe and follow me on those platforms and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. Now let's dig into the specs and features of this and some of the other AK-101 options that PSA sells. Now this one is kind of one of the Cadillac versions, and they're really good about that, with starting with a base model polymer furniture version, which generally sells for right around $600–700, and then these are some of the more premium versions with updated rail systems, triggers, stocks, and accessories, and this one comes in right at about $1,200. Right up at the front, we are going to notice some upgrades right off the bat with the 74 style brake, and then it moves over to the cheese grater front handguard and TDI arms front handguard, which is a nice billet aluminum with M-LOK right here. It also has a hinged top dust cover, which is perfect to mount optics for, but the iron sights on this guy line up perfectly with that front sight post, but it would be really cool to go ahead and put a red dot on top. One of the low profile red dots I've reviewed on the channel would fit perfectly. Now this one comes with that standard 16-inch barrel, so it's a traditional rifle. And the thread pitch on the end is going to be M24 by 1.5 right-hand threads. The barrel twist weight is 1-in-7, which is perfect for a 16-inch 223 or 5.56. The barrel material is actually 4150 chromoly vanadium steel, which is a great barrel steel, and it's nitride finished, so it's going to be incredibly corrosion resistant. Again, with that handguard and cheese grater, it just looks cool and mean, but it's also functional. You could definitely mount a side light on here, which I'll probably be doing, and a pressure pad on the other side. Definitely some type of grip, because this thing gets hot because it is so easy to dump rounds through it. We'll talk about that in the performance section of this review. The charging handle works great. You know, it's just like every other AK charging handle, and the safety lever is nice because it does have this extended shelf, which allows you to utilize that perfectly. The mag release works out just like every other mag release, but this one actually comes with the ALG trigger, which is hands down one of my favorite AK triggers you can put in one. They work out great. This one also comes with an upgraded grip, which is pretty slick. It reminds me of like a US palm grip, but a slightly different profile, but incredibly ergonomic. I would like to see maybe a touch more texturing, but it does great down at the range. This one also has that metal triangle folding stock with the sling attachments, which matches up perfectly with the cheese grater handguard, giving this like a post-apocalyptic Mad Max style look, yet still being incredibly functional down at the range. Now let's talk about the internals, because that is definitely key on a US-made AK, and PSA is killing it. So the front trunnion is going to be the Toolcraft Hammer Forged 4340 AQ steel, so a bomb-proof front trunnion. The bolt is going to be Toolcraft and it's hammer forged, and the carrier is going to be Toolcraft and it's hammer forged as well, so this is going to last you a lifetime of running thousands upon thousands of rounds through it. Now let's talk about the performance section of this review. With the mag included, it ran 100% functional, no issues whatsoever, and I wanted to start off with that before I started switching mags, and I put a lot of rounds through it with not a single feed or function issue. It threw the brass in a nice pile, it functioned great, and there was absolutely no recoil on this, none whatsoever. One of the fastest and smoothest shooting AKs I've ever fired. The only other competitor is the mag version that takes the AR mags from PSA, that AK-101 style, and that shoots just about as flat, but this one takes the true classic AK-556 rock-in mag, so it works out perfectly. No function issues, no feed issues. It just works and works and works, and it's one of the most fun times I've ever had at the range with an AK because you can dump rounds. Be prepared to buy thousands of rounds because you're going to go through them because it's super fun. This would make a great competition rifle, a great battle rifle, personal defense rifle, or just a fun plinking rifle down at the range. Also, if you wanted to teach somebody how to shoot a semi-automatic style full-size rifle, this would be a great one to learn on because of the fact that there is almost no recoil whatsoever, and it's such a smooth and accurate shooter down at the range. Again, all of the information will be on the campsite page, and the campsite page will be in the description below. And if you want to check out any other AK reviews or even see torture tests, subscribe to my channel and take a look at some of those videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.